Orbital audio architect, abstract, abnormal, anonymous, obvious, operative threat to the populace, cyber metropolis. Got the prescription, but what was the cause of this outbreak? Artificial automated societies now wait. Eager retrievers, consumers, believers, the heat of destruction. Disorder, dishonor, corruption. Capitalized consumption, categorized circumference.
You couldn't compute this data, matter of fact. What is this NASA at a master that spitted that abstract attack? Attacking your government staff, coding chemical carbonation, smoking cynical suffocation, trapped in a world of abomination. Nobody's safe when the mobs are waiting to chaos. What are they on?
Artificial enhancement, intoxicated by static, the murder within the madness.
Greetings, bonjour. This is Derek Bartolacelli. I have several platforms I'm on that I've been doing work for about a dozen years. Under the moniker Awakening Mind, I've been doing truth-infused, conscious hip-hop and other music genre mixes. Kind of like soundtracks to awakenings and expanded consciousness and that kind of stuff. And overall, just like good vibes and things that we need to be concerned about and looking for solutions towards and all that good shit. I also have a solution-oriented podcast called Dissolving the Divide with Leslie Powers, actually. And I am also affiliated with groups such as the One Great Work Warriors, hosted by Chris Jansen. Not hosted by, but he's at the helm, who created that. And I'm also part of groups such as Europa, Natural Law, Le Francophone Connection, with Fred Gongrach, the Libercast, and some other folks in the One Great Work Network. You can also find some of my works on there because I've collaborated with a couple dozen of the content creators there. And I also have a website called nattylaw.com. It showcases some of my music mixes, and I have a music section about artists and albums that are aligned to natural law. And we go into the Hermetica and other things that touch upon these sciences of life.
I be a universal traveler, false truth unraveler.
So let's get this straight out the way. What does humanity really need to know in regards to AI? It's artificial intellect. There's no intelligence in there. There's no generative principle, all right? And that's the acronym that I'm going to be talking down upon and, just trying to hammer the idea and possible verbal practice for people to refrain from using the word or intelligence in regards to AI, and switch it with something that I'll speak from my own experience a little bit in regards to being an activated individual, having an activated intuition, if you will, as well. To really have that activated intelligence from the heart core center is what is really going to ignite the true awakening, I feel. And even sometimes it's like, people are awake to what exactly? Like people have expanded their awareness and this and that, but are they really awakened within themselves? That's the heart of the matter that I'm going to bring forth with this. And I'm going to be speaking from experience because I've had a type of heart explosive awakening myself. It's like a frequency shift. Like the universe literally was zapped me. That's how I felt. And I was never the same since then. Okay? So as you can see, I'm in a wonderful, beautiful place. This is the Mediterranean Sea. Les amis, my friends, as the translation goes. And I won't be trying to mingle in a whole bunch of Frenchy words and stuff. And people need to know that I'm not French. I've lived here for 15 years. And, I still get the feeling like people are giving me these stereotypes as if, I'm French and they think I'm some kind of arrogant fucking prick. Like the Merovingian. That stingy man? Remember that guy?
Oh, yes, it is true. The question is, do you know why you are here?
And why, oh why, is that three-letter word that important? Like in the movies, So yeah, I'm going to be mentioning the Matrix a little bit because it does make sense, and bringing it back to basics in regards to some of this Machina Muerte fuckery with the transhumanist AI agenda shit that they spoke about this, you know, that was like the main crux of why the Matrix was actually fucking made to begin with, you know? Remember that?
We marveled at our own magnificence as we gave birth to AI.
AI? You mean artificial intelligence?
A singular consciousness that spawned an entire race of machines.
Yeah, for folks that don't really know me all that well, that's fine. Just to let you know, I am your Americano Italiano ambassador out here in France, at your door, with raps galore, talking that natural law, holding a fucking Full Metal Alphanor. That's a alchemical furnace.
Envelop you with development kits to help me to embellish the elements, dynamic into intelligence.
You know, as an expat, I've noticed also that people, when they learn a different language, you know, one of the first things they get to learn is like all the curse words. You know, why? You know? Just like the good old Merv, right?
I have sampled every language. French is my favorite. Fantastic language. Especially to curse with.
I got this, you know. Nom de Dieu de putain de merde, saloperie de enculé ta mère. Mais fuck that shit.
It's like wiping your ass with silk. I love it.
I don't know about all that, and I don't know who the hell has even wiped their ass with silk.
Suck my silky ass thing!
Yeah, that last part, it's like,
Saloperie de connard enculé ta mère.
I'm not a big fan of that, but, you know, to flip it towards, you know, this Matrix miasma shit, it's like, fuck the inverted feminine womb gate of the Matrix. That's what Matrix means, womb, right? And so they've been birthing this fucking, you know, these overlays in simulacra simulations of things within this reality that is fucking real. We're not living in a fucking simulation, alright? Fuck those fucking theories. Let's keep it fucking real and right. Are you righteous? Are you lying to natural law and all that shit, right? Universal morality. Oh, and by the way, doing this video was quite challenging, to say the least. Even just boiling down everything I wanted to say into 30 minutes. Yeah. With that being said, I have spent a couple years and many hours researching and making videos in regards to the whole transhumanist takeover and that kind of stuff. I'm from the Bay Area. I noticed and witnessed the fucking techie town takeover, a la Silicon Valley effect type of shit. Alright? I was disgusted for a long time. That was a catalyst for me to look into these things deeper beneath the surface, especially when you are kind of esoterically astute, if you will, and you are a student of these things, right? Esoteric, occult, hidden information, voila, it's not that complicated, right? Hello, it is quite complicated for a lot of people. I'm just talking about simple words, you know, the definition and etymology of the word occult and esoteric. And hey, guess what? It rhymes with Derek. Oh! And how is your rhetoric as well? Got to build up that grammar and all that shit, filter out the distortions, whatnot. So what is really important is to study the hidden laws of nature and the hidden and dormant aspects within ourselves as well. You know, take it to the law of correspondence, as above, so below. As the universe, so the soul, which is right here, right? And really understand that none of this machinery, AI, does not fucking possess that. And we have some of these, you know, human transhumanist enthusiasts that that literally having wet dreams over the ideas of being able to transfer their consciousness into some robotic bullshit, whatever the fuck, cybernetic, yeah, whatever, you know what I mean? So this has been, you know, stated in countless stories and dystopian fucking movies and whatever the fuck, and like, you know, like, what are we being conditioned to accepting and just coexisting with, exactly, and just letting things just roll the fuck out and being complicit towards. You understand how these games are being played on us, right? It's not just for fucking entertainment purposes, and people need to get the fuck over just like being conditioned to be entertained all the fucking time. Think about our ancestors. They didn't have time for that shit. They were trying to learn it and survive. And what are we doing? You know, where are the fucking real men that, you know, are gonna stave off hard times? Because weak men create hard fucking times. And we have a fuck ton of weak ass fucking men that would rather have sex with a fucking robot than an actual fucking woman. And they can't even fucking define what a woman is these days? Fuck that motherfucking bullshit. Alright? We have to anchor in and just keep the humanity as much as fucking possible. Right? Like, what the fuck? It is not that complicated. We have simple genetics as far as, you know, like gender, masculine, feminine, and even understanding the basic 101 aspects and principles of Hermeticism. Right? Cosmic law, universal law. And with that said, holy smokes, my tech is a little bit limited. I'm not going to be able to put the same amount of slides as I would because my neighbor's caught fire and I don't have all the electricity and stuff. I've been delayed for over a week with these things, so bear that in mind. I'm sorry this isn't your typical official presentation. I'm not even used to that, by the way, but I really wanted to challenge myself and do that, but here we are, and I just hope you just take these things into account and research them. Don't take my fucking word for it. They need to be confirmed elsewhere as well, right? So raise your hand if you want to see the Draco Decepticon technocratic or techno-monopolistic, algorithmic, transhumanist, nano-cybernetic, AI robot techie takeover with genetically modified humans. Anyone? You in the back, put your fucking hand the fuck down. The hell are you thinking?
Cyber sludge, mechanized slaves, social engineering, weather modification, and high frequency waves. It's like cyber sludge, mechanized slaves, social engineering, weather modification, and high frequency waves. It's like.
Oh, hey there. Let's get this word out of our vocabulary when it comes to artificial intelligence. When you break down the word, nothing artificial has proper intelligence. We're talking about the generative principle, the heart-based intelligence. You know, there needs to be a soul behind the intelligence for it, in order for it to have intelligence. So if there's any kind of inorganic entity or machinery or whatever the fuck that is void or absent of a soul, that generative principle, then guess what? It's not fucking intelligence. It's not like I'm going to be out on the streets arguing with people because, oh, you're saying artificial intelligence, don't you know, this and that. But it does bring up a good opportunity to use your art of persuasion to let them think about something in a different way and take it back to themselves and their heart's core intelligence that may be lacking within themselves, or it might not be fully fucking ignited or not at all type of shit, you know what I mean? So everyone is on different levels of wherever the fuck they're at. And I'm on a ton of levels in regards to wordplay. And just, you know, it's my way of kind of breaking down this fucking notion of artificial intelligence, like, oh, like, it's the best thing since sliced fucking bread or whatever the fuck, or, you know what I mean? And we still don't have flying cars, wow. But let's have a little word association with acronyms that start with AI, right? And it still applies to artificial intellect, you know? So follow me on this one. You know what rhymes with AI? Great lie. Artificial intellect. Amalgamated intel, arcane ignorance, algorithmic indecency, android incest, advanced imitations, amplified idiocracy, androgyny increased, announcing Ishvet, contrary to Mayat, archons inside, aggravated iconoclasts, aggressive inclusivity, assimilated insanity, automated inventions, audacious immorality, animosity insufferable, agent infliction, alien invasion, assumptive iterations, ambiguous inertia, and the 2045 project and all this stuff. Like, why are people obsessed with the fucking transhumanist bullshit, you know? It comes from a place of fucking fear. And this ties into the more controversial things in regards to off-world AI and kind of like where it originates from, and some of the technology that they've unleashed into our realm that's had it on lockdown, and it's distorted the harmonics, the mathematics, you know, like codes of creation, and it, you know, ties into the Metatronic reversals. You know, it's quote unquote sacred geometry, even the Fibonacci or fib of no chi, and you can take it to the clip off or the, you know, circumcised Kabbalistic tree, which is not symmetrical, and it's like base 10 mathematics. And yeah, I was wondering why, you know, before my awakening, you know, like really, like, it hurt my soul dwelling on this, of why humans on average, whatever, you know, hear this growing up of we're only, you know, using like 10% of our brain, or optimally whatever the fuck, and you know, only have 2-strand DNA, and there's all this dormant stuff when we could be 12-strand. So those are like, that's another 10%. So what is up with this base 10 mathematics that's, you know, limiting our lifespan and overall kinetic energy and connection to source and our own life force energy, right? We have to take it back to like Hyperboreans, where we were all breatharian and that kind of stuff. And I've heard people say things that, you know, like it's indicative being in a fallen time matrix when there are people consuming other life forms just to sustain their own life force energy. You know, we're supposed to have that eternal flower life lotus, you know, that self-perpetuating life force energy oscillating within us, you know, and that's like activating the heart more and more and more, right? Or like Mario West likes to say, you know, open it up wider and wider and wider still, like for fucking real. So going back to the AI stuff, it's just becoming more prevalent in very insidious ways, and it's not what people think it is in regards to just like chat GPT and you know image generator, video generated shit, you know. And I know it's still in the early stages and it still kind of sucks, right? Depending on what program people are fucking using, right? There's like the cheap stuff and the high grade stuff. And have you guys even, you know, asked yourselves why, you know, there's plenty of companies investing millions or billions of dollars into this tech, and they're offering certain things for free? You know what I mean? So think about that, and always keep in mind the parasitic modus operandi and how they function, of them siphoning our life force energy, and they're using the simulacra simulation tactics and just kind of harvesting our ideas and stuff, and maybe twisting them or using them and this and that. You could take to Hollywood, and you know, they have stacks of stories that they could pull from, that they took from, you know, these aspiring writers that wanted to have their writings and screenplays, you know, become a movie, and they didn't get to see the light of day yet. You know, those ideas are still there. You know, check out the interviews of Tom Althouse. I had him on with Zerlath Immortal and Mario West, actually. But yeah, we have to look at some of these equations, right? Did they take zero out of it? You know, zero, the sacred cosmic womb, if you will. Gununagap, it's also referenced as, or and think about that, you know, with the world card and the tarot, possibly. And these are the things that Seth Exposa has been speaking about for years. So please check out his works on Black Earth Productions. And as I mentioned briefly and alluded to a discussion he had with Nate Max and George Kavassilis, yeah, they tied in so much together, including, the flat Earth psyop, okay, and some of the distortions with the harmonics and all that shit, including our the overlays of our chakra system and that kind of stuff. We have to break free from these seals, and so we can really have our hearts open and activated, right? With that being said, I'm still very much a student, not quite a teacher. Unlike Sethicus, who, I've been initiated into his school and I've benefited greatly from it. And I wish I knew about this a long time ago. I mean, it's 2025. It's been a couple of years since I've been in correspondence, but yeah, 2012 is quite a long time from my initial awakening, activations and stuff. And I was kind of misled to some of this new age stuff as well. So yeah, I understand if people are pissed off of like, oh, well, sacred geometry, it's, there's more to it than that. And there's much more to it than what I've briefly shared. It takes hours and years to, understand these things, right? Sethicus was on FUNL 2, the conference a couple of years ago, and he spoke about the betrayal of Thoth, if you will, and how many people followed up on that and actually watched the 7-hour dissertation that is just monumental in my humble opinion. And yeah, it's probably my favorite YouTube channel that I have. I'm subscribed to like over 500. It's tough to get into these things sometimes, just knowing everything that's going on right now. So yeah, like, to end the artificial intelligence segment of this presentation, stay the fuck away from the needlecraft, the pharmakia fuckery, and geoengineering. So yeah, there's layers upon layers of all this stuff, and we gotta break the fuck away from this stuff. We have to rise up and not fall for these things, right?
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Let it shine like an amplifier. Open your sight, let it multiply. No inhibition, it's just as a mission, releasing your soul and letting it fly. Sonically formed, spiritually warm, lyrically heated and mentally sparked. Bursting the flames of consciousness, transcending the flesh and stoke the heart.
Rise up, rise up, rise up, rise up.
All right, so as far as the proper AI being an authentic individual and more or less, in rather more so, an activated individual, I'm just going to speak through my awakening experience, even though, to each their own awakening experience and how that manifests with the specific individual. My story is, this is always a creative conundrum for me, because I ain't got a whole lot of time to even like scratch well below the surface on what I'm bringing forth. There's going to be a extended version, and instead of kind of going over my fucking awakening process and this and that, I might just throw out a quick few bullet points. But yeah, I have several videos, interviews that I go quite deep into, so I'm just gonna suggest those, especially and specifically the one I did with Melissa Mary, which was fantastic. And yeah, my heart's grieved over her passing away last year, and yeah,
Rest in peace.
but with that said, I will be doing an extended version of this presentation, so yeah, stay tuned for that. Take the time to check out Awakening Mind, or not. I don't care. What matters, like, I'm not looking for subscribers. What matters is that you subscribe to your fucking self. Get that care activated to do something positive in this world, right? I'm not assuming you're not, but we could all do more in these troubling times. So what if I told you that the first eye is right here, the center of your chest? This is the electromagnetic oscillating life force perpetuating liquid crystal seat of the soul, if you will. And operating from there is the best place to be. And you're living more authentically. You're not trying to lie to yourself or fucking other people and all this stuff, right? And so when I had this, awakening, whatever, activations, I just had so much more clarity of thought and emotion and articulation. I felt like something cleared up in my throat chakra there, like a like I hawked a cosmic loogie out there or some shit like that. All right, I got to give a little piece to the musical aspects of just life, sound, frequency, vibration, sonic resonance, and I'm thinking about Conrad in regards to sonic because I think that might be in the title of one of his presentation for this. And Leslie Powers, she'll be talking about music as well, and music ties into the quadrivium. And stemming off of the trivium, I wanted to balance out a little equilibrium in regards to certain things regarding this reality and how we need to be a proper, pure instrument, vessel of the higher force, anchored here, right here and fucking now. All right, so I'm going to need everyone's attentive imagination to follow me on this one, because I got to rifle through real quick. I don't have a whole lot of time, unfortunately. So when we think about objective truth, objective morality, universal law, natural law, cosmic law, all these things, think of that as this, the primordial womb, sound song frequency, that vibration. That is what we want to be aligned with, as well as our DNA. And the more we activate our DNA, the more aligned we are to that. And unfortunately, there's been this discord, and I wanted to go into the whole history that makes so much sense in regards to the lore of J.R.R. Tolkien, where he talks about the whole creation of his universe in the Silmarillion and other books outside of the Lord of the Rings and Hobbit. But the main thing is that there was a character that was created by the creator that was supposed to be in alignment with singing the songs of creation, but he had a discord with that. He wanted to play God himself. How many stories and instances and even real life can we see that playing out? People just trying to play fucking God, whatever the fuck. Fuck that. So they need to get realigned. And we're all supposed to be fine-tuning our own instruments as this bodily vessel, right? And it's kind of like the same as, we're going to be fine-tuning our instruments so they play harmoniously and all these things, yeah? And you could take it to the integrated aspects and essences of divine feminine and masculine, with the masculine being the arrow, the feminine being the bow, and the bow string being that sound song frequency, natural law, truth. So when the arrow is pulled back along the bow, hitting that bowstring, it's all in alignment. Masculine being the intellect, feminine being the intuition, and boom, unity consciousness aligned to natural law. All right, just like a fetus to a child to a mature adult, it's a process. Just like awakening and expanded awareness and activations and all these things. I mentioned some things that I've gone through my life, but it's never a fucking one-off. And I've had multiple experiences. So there's a lot to consider. And just to go down the list of ways we can actualize and activate more of our true authentic self. Yeah, y'all can do your DMTs and entheogens and shroomadelic experiences and whatever the fuck. Ayahuasca, whatever, but you're going somewhere else and you're coming back. What are you taking with you, and what are you going to be implementing within yourself and sharing with others that are going to be beneficial, right? And those are more of like a one-off things, but yet you can learn and have that as like a life-changing experience. But you have to take it further than that. It's not just about that. You have to tap into here. It's always going back to fucking here. I don't know how much I need to like reiterate that and emphasize it, but this is where the fuck it starts, at the heart. How is your art? Is it official or is it artificial, right? Your art of life, your art of communication, your art of listening, your art of persuasion, all these things, right? And you can't spell hearts without the arts, nor without the ear. Do you have the inner ear open to properly hear? Hear, heart, earth. What's your connection to all these things? And what are you aligned with? So yeah, there's like the Kundalini awakening and all that stuff. Yet people have apparently fucking died from this stuff. It's like the serpentine energy going up your spine, this and that. Okay, that's cool. But what about here? Is your first eye open to all that shit? So things to consider with that. So find your fucking catalyst that's really going to light a fire within you to resurrect your fucking soul type of shit. All right. And there's like these chakra activations and things you can do to kind of manifest that, whether like just like deep meditation, contemplation, doing your breath work, whatever. But it really goes back to the first cosmic law principle of your state of mind, and and also connected to the heart-based intelligence, the generative principle. These two need to be in alignment. Yeah, it's kind of like the Matrix when the Oracle says, Neo, being the one is kind of like being in love. It is that sound frequency, agape, cosmic love that just emanates from here, and it just keeps you going, right? You could say neocortex and all that, but it needs to be aligned to this. The generative principle, what the fuck you care about, Are you able to inspire yourself? Whether it be from the good stuff or the bad stuff going on in the world, right? So, in conclusion, stay human.
Rise up, rise up, rise up.
Which world am I in? I had a vision of a future life. Activated chakra now, tell me how you feeling like. A line of murder got an energy that's infinite. Literate, I manifest source with my intuition. Inner Christ, see me on a subatomic. Space sacred, I can see the love inside it. Yeah, I said see it's visible to upper logic. Wish I could tell you how I got it, but I stumbled on it. I wonder. Mechanics of the mind, every life form connect the planets in the sky. Enlighten what I'm writing like a phantom with a fly. Watch an apparition vanish in the stand and go by. Man of old time, ancient and Akashic. Knowledge in my head go against the Metatronic. And I won't stop until the federal demolish. That's progress, never gonna stop it. What I rock, I make a fallen angelic change logic. Life comes together when the heart and the brain working together at the same time. One mind. Going deep inside, I'm gonna tell him what I find. I better tell him how to unify the heavenly design. Set him in the drive, forever be divine. I mean, I always will be, see forever in my eyes.
Sinne edasi, koos kinnid